Hi guys, Ty Lord here with my movie and video game pickups for the month of August. I have a pile of stuff to share. Sorry I haven't been very consistent with uploading videos. It takes a long time to work on those James Bond reviews. I finally uploaded You Only Live Twice review with Wubs and myself, and I'm working on OHMSS. That should be a big one. That's probably going to be even longer than any of the other ones we've done. So looking forward to uploading that one. As far as pickups, I'm going to start with the video games. Over at the Laughing Crow Collectibles here in Modesto, California, my buddies Jared and Jace that run that place, I got all kinds of credit taking stuff in. I'll show you my pickups from there. I'll start off with this thing. I think they just recently got it in as a trade, and I ended up buying it with some credit. This multi AV plug device for hooking up to your CRT. It has 4 different selections. I have all of these things, so I could hook all these up to my Trinitron that Dean from Escape to Gaming gave me. So I have tons of consoles hooked up to that. It's kind of a mess. It's going to be a lot nicer with this thing. I do have a PS2, GameCube, Xbox, a DVD player. I'll probably just put a Super Nintendo on that one. But yeah, I got this thing. It has S video, and I don't know, it has these Ethernet or phone cables too. I guess that's for if your consoles are online. It doesn't even take a power source, so cool to have this thing. I can switch back and forth between the consoles I'm using. I kind of clean up my little gaming area. Speaking of Super Nintendo, my little what was the name of the company? My little Super Nintendo player, it's called the FC Twin. It plays Super Nintendo and Nintendo games. I ripped out the little knobs inside the cartridge slot so I could play Super Famicom games on it. That thing, the power adapter, I was a dumbass. I used it to plug into my Genesis because it fits in there, but it's not the right voltage, so it fried that adapter. But then after that, the console didn't work, even though I didn't have the console plugged in. So I think it just wore out that little FC Twin. So I didn't have a Super Nintendo to play stuff on other than my wife's Super Nintendo that still is in the box and everything from her childhood. So I wanted to have my own beater Super Nintendo. So over at the Laughing Crow Collectibles, I got this thing, the little slim Super Nintendo or Super Nintendo 2, I don't know what they're called. Doesn't have the AV, it just has the one, this thing that's the same as GameCube and N64. So I got this, so I've been playing a lot of Super Nintendo lately. I don't know if I'm gonna rip those little knobs out or not. I might just keep it factory stock. I end up getting another one of those little FC Twins, but for now I've been playing on my Super Nintendo games on this. It works really good. Playing a lot of Super Mario All-Stars and Mario World and a lot of different other games, some fighting games. I've been looking for this game. I got it over there at the Laughing Crow Renegade. It's probably one of my favorite beat 'em ups on the original Nintendo. Didn't have it. I did a no death run on this. I uploaded on my channel many years ago. It's really tough once you start out, but once you know how to cheese that jump kick, it's kind of doable to get through the game. If you know the right passes, the right doors to go through, you can get through this without dying. And then the last guy in here kills you with one shot. He has a pistol, so you got to be careful with him. You can't get all the way to him and then die. I think you get like 3 lives in this. If not, it's really tough unless you figure out that little how to cheese the jump kick. But I love Renegade. It's from Taito, right? Yeah, Taito. I think this was originally one of those Kunio-kun games in Japan. It's just they changed it to put kind of like a Warriors aesthetic here, and United States. I love this game. If you ever try maybe look up the ROM, I don't know if it's still available, but try the Master System version of this. It might just be like a Brazil only, or maybe Europe only, I'm not sure. It never came out here, but there is a Master System version of this game that's really good too. It plays almost identical to this, only it looks a lot better. There's a couple differences, but check out the Master System version of that. Any more video games? Yeah. Actually, not too many this year. Picked up this for $1. I know it's worth a little bit more than that. NCAA Football 12. I know 13 or 14 is the one to get, but that one, I know it's worth more than 95 cents loose. More football. I like to pick up anything GameCube, and this one, love the nice little GameCube case. This isn't a regular DVD case, but Madden 06. Yeah, and I might. I kind of want to go back and play some older football games. Like, I never keep up with any players or anything. I don't play fantasy football, so this would be just like playing any other football game. I don't know the names of any of the players. It might be fun to go back and play these older ones, like on the 5th and 6th gen. I mean, so many of the rules have changed since then, I guess, but it'd be interesting to see how these old ones hold up. But I want to see how this one holds up to Burnout. This was always my favorite racing game, the original Burnout. We already had this, but I just had to pick it up. It was $6. I might find a home for it. This is had all the crashing and all that, the fancy crashes, but this is before it kind of celebrated crashing, and the whole idea of it was to avoid collisions. And there was a lot of traffic. I remember this was like a high adrenaline game. I just really liked this game at the time. It was really fast, and you're avoiding a lot of traffic. I know they've gotten better since this one, but I've always liked this original Burnout. Another game I got to go back to. I started it when it came out, but I couldn't really get into it. But I hear it's like one of the best games ever made. Is Red Dead Redemption. Got that. That was $4 at Rasputin's. It's got the book and everything. And so I'm glad to get that one. Holy cow. Those are the only games I had. Sorry about that. Let's move on to VHS trash. Kind of happy with these pickups. As I said, we just released our review of... If you want to sit through a 2-hour review on You Only Live Twice, we did that. I found this nice old VHS of You Only Live Twice. If you want to hear me talk about this, just go watch that video. I don't know how many Bond fans there are out there besides me and Wubs and Omega Ace, and I know BioPhoenix is into Bond. I know I have a few friends that are into Bond. Dad Level Podcast. I think Alpha Nerd's a Bond fan. I know I have several Bond fans. Sorry if I'm not mentioning you, Bond fan friends. Anyway, I didn't know if I had this version or not. I like to collect these older VHS tapes of James Bond. Great score by John Barry. As I'll transition into this movie, The Black Hole. The best thing about this is the John Barry score. Hot take, I like this score better than Star Wars, than John Williams' Star Wars. This is just has that cool, eerie John Barry sound. Very Bondy in this soundtrack. It's an okay movie. I always thought it was kind of boring, but I always watch it. It has a good cast. It has Robert Forster's the star, the guy from Alligator. He was in a lot of 70s movies. He was actually in Jackie Brown. He's the main guy. Ernest Borgnine's in it. Anthony Perkins is in it. Yeah, kind of a dark science fiction movie, and it was a Disney movie from the 70s. Kind of a dark movie. It had little robots. And I think what's his name was the voice of the little robot, Roddy McDowall. There's a little robot sidekick. This madman's trying to. I don't know if he's trying to. He has this. He's overtaken his spaceship, and he's trying to go inside of the black hole. And then this other spaceship Robert Forster's team goes and finds him in there, and they think there's some fishy going on. Kind of like what do you call it? A Captain Nemo type situation. The brave little toaster. I thought I heard this was worth something, so I got it was 50 cents, but I don't think it's worth anything. Maybe $5. And I've never seen this. I always hear people praise this thing. I don't know anything about it. Okay. Here's a great, I think it's Terry Gilliam from, that does the, yeah, Terry Gilliam that did Time Bandits and the Monty Python stuff. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I love this movie. Really weird look to this movie. Really fantasy, high fantasy in this. Kind of a fantasy adventure movie. Who's this actor here that plays Baron Munchausen? And he has a, I think he sails around on a hot air balloon. It goes on adventures. I think he meets like Greek gods. I know what's her name. Uma Thurman plays Venus in this, and it has a lot of what's his name in there from Monty Python. Eric Idle, and he has a little band of misfits with him. And they all have they each have like a superpower. It kind of reminds me of like superheroes. Like one guy can run really fast, and one guy has he could shoot a rifle like with precision. Yeah, this is a really weird. I kind of like it takes place over like in Turkey, and wow. Yeah, I got to revisit that one. I remember this movie's always a trip to me, kind of like Time Bandits. Like one of those movies that always lingers in your head. Let's see. Oh, forgot about this. I should have put that back there. Laughing Crow Collectibles. They gave me this for dirt cheap. Oh man, I love this thing. Now, this is a nice clean copy. I always like to show off that I have this from my childhood still, but I wrote all over it. My buddy and I wrote all the locations of the items and the dungeons on the Legend of Zelda Second Quest. This is a great book for if you're a Nintendo fan. It has it has all the maps of a bunch of the classic games, like Kid Icarus here. It has I think it has all of Metroid's map on here. Look at that, it has all of Metroid's map and all the locations of all of the items. This thing is great. What is it? Yeah, Zelda 2 has a lot of stuff on Zelda 2. It has like guides in here. It has like the first half of Super Mario Brothers. I don't know why you need that, but yeah, it has like just a in-depth description on all these games. Like there's Punch Out. I remember the Zelda one I would use a lot. Oh, it's got Rygar. Look at that. It's got all the maps to Rygar. But I remember I had this and we wrote all over, my buddy and I, writing all the locations of the second mission in Zelda 1. So nice to have a nice clean copy with this with no writing on it. I love this. Is one of my favorite gaming books ever. Okay, I guess we'll finish off with Blu-rays and DVDs. I only got one Blu-ray. Had to get this for $2. My buddy Vince from Dad Level Podcast was just typing this up on the Retro Wave podcast about fantasy movies. This is a cool movie. I saw it at the theater when I was a kid. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, with Kevin Costner. Morgan Freeman's in there, and what's his name? Die Hard. Harry Potter guy. How come I forgot his name? This guy. How did I forget his name? I'm losing. Alan Rickman. Christian Slater's in it. Oh, I forgot. Wow. Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio was Maid Marian. Here's a good one, and I think it's kind of like a cult classic now. Existence with Jude Law, Jennifer Jason Leigh, kind of a Matrix type mind-bending virtual reality type movie. I remember Willem Dafoe is in it. Oh shit, this is in French. It's a David Cronenberg movie. I got the darn French version of it. I already had one. I just thought I'd pick it up because I think it's kind of sought after. Okay, here's from one of my favorite production studios, PM Entertainment. I think this is the first movie they did, and I haven't watched it yet. And I'm a big fan of Jim Brown. Jim Brown's in it. L.A. Heat. Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, Kevin Benton, and Jim Brown. A detective suspense movie. I can't wait to watch this. I love PM Entertainment. I think it's a lot of it started right here. Directed by Joseph Merhi, the M in PM Entertainment. Beverly Hills Cop 2. I think I didn't have that one. So I have all of them now. Here's a movie. I just always buy it when I see it for $1. Bedknobs and Broomsticks. My favorite Disney movie. And I always buy this one when I see it. I'll probably give it away to someone. I've given this away to so many people. Carl Weathers and Action Jackson. Really cool, really underrated 80s action movie. Here's a good one. I think Tiburone sent me a VHS of this. It was either Tiburone or Physical Medium Mac. I had to be Tiburone because he's always into the VHS trash. Cover Up. I got it on DVD now. I love this movie. It's not really a fun movie. It's kind of a dark, depressing, sort of political suspense spy thriller. Dolph Lundgren's plays it really straight in this. He's a pretty good actor. My other favorite guy in here, Lou Gossett Jr. is in here. This deals with a lot of terrorism. It's set in Israel. There's a bomb attempt's gonna happen on Easter, from what I remember. It has a pretty good fight scene with Dolph Lundgren. Kind of a gritty movie for him, and his English is pretty good. This is one of his earlier movies. This is a pretty good movie. Kind of plays it straight. You would think it's kind of like a fun, cheesy 90s movie looking at the cover, but it's kind of a more serious thriller. And here, a movie I love this series from Fred Williamson. Fred Williamson, I think he directs this series, and he's the star. There he is, Fred Williamson. It's got Ice-T's in it, but he doesn't really have that big of a role. It's like he's the star on the cover, but this series, this movie's directed by Fred Williamson. He's that Dakota Smith series. There's 4 or 5 of these Fred Williamson movies. Plays Detective Dakota Smith. One of them I like to find is called Night Game or something. It has Cynthia Rothrock in it. Yeah, but there's several of these. I like these. And this one has a bunch of. It has Jim Brown's in it, Gary Busey's in it, Ron O'Neal, Bernie Casey is in it. Yeah, great movie. I ended up with that movie no one's ever heard of. Sorry I couldn't end it on a higher note. I found this is all stuff. I guess I could just show this stuff I'm all sending it to my buddies. Oh, I found another copy of Alpha Protocol for $2. I haven't started playing this yet, but I hear it's a fun game, RPG espionage game. So I have an extra copy that I'm going to send that to a friend. I found Popeye cartoons. I might send that to Tiburone. He's a Popeye fan. I found The Force Unleashed. I'll probably send that to Wubbs. Oh, that's it. And then I Love Lucy. Hey, where's I'm missing one. I Love Lucy, 3 episodes. Lucy and the Stars, Lucy Stalks the Stars, and Crossing the Country. I'll send that to Tiburone and Mrs. Tiburone. I thought I had one more VHS. Oh yes, here it is. I think that was this month. So I was gonna save it for next month, but I'll just show it now. Check it out, Runaway Train. I love this movie. Big, nice, big box VHS. Got it for $1. If you guys are calling me a liar, they all say $1.99, but every movie there at Rasputin's they're all 99 cents. All the ones out in the bins. So it says $1.99, but they're all 99 cents. And all the VHSs, if they say they're $1 or $2, they're all just 50 cents. Oh, so this was actually 50 cents. Yeah, this is not DVD. DVD's $1. VHS opens up like a book. VHS is 50 cents. Really cool movie. Prison Break movie. On the Run movie. Jon Voight, Eric Roberts, and Rebecca De Mornay is like a stowaway on this train they hijack when they break out of this prison up in Alaska. It's all cold and icy and snowy, and Jon Voight and Eric Roberts break out of this high security prison out in the middle of nowhere. And then the whole movie, the warden's chasing him down. It's like the warden's in charge of everything. Like, he's just calling the shots, and he's bullying around like the FBI and everything. Like the warden's, and he ends up getting on a helicopter and like shooting a machine gun at the train. Like the warden's just, like it was really a blow to his ego that these guys escaped this prison that no one's ever escaped. Jon Voight's a crazy guy. They're both pretty crazy guys. Yeah, great stuff. Kind of like a cautionary movie too about technology, like putting putting everything on the technology to run everything. Even though this is way before like AI is now and the internet. Like this is when they had like a computer system running the railways, and they couldn't quite get it under control. Like it was haywire. So like they had the computer totally controlling the system, but like it was malfunctions. They couldn't do anything to stop this train. This is a cool movie, man. You gotta watch. It's probably one of my favorite Jon Voight movies. Oh, it's got these nasty stickers on it. Hope I can clean those off. Look at that crap. Anyway, yeah, you gotta check out Runaway Train. It might be on Tubi. Canon Films releasing. You know what? This might be the only Canon film to ever involved with an Academy Award. I think John nominated for Best Actor. I don't know if it might have been this movie. Crazy. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks for sticking around. I'll be back next week with more pickups. Have a great September.